Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another magnificent episode of It's the Bottom Line, where we talk about everything going on in the world of sports, entertainment, and life. Of course, it's your host with the most, Mandrey, Mandrizzle, Davis. And without further ado, I'm not going to talk y'all to death. We're going to go straight to it. We have a great personality in the place today. I've seen her perform. I've been at shows with her, and I've been itching to get her in here. She does her thing. Y'all gonna hear the music in a moment and see what I'm talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you the one, the only T SHYNE the A.I.
Hey. Oh, thank you. That was a great introduction. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. I mean, you deserve it. You know? How you doing today?
I'm feeling really good, actually. What about yourself?
I'm magnificent. Honestly, I'm still on a high because last night I got the podcast, The View movie. It was incredible. It was about men's mental health. And I got to meet a lot of people in the therapy world. A lot of the people that I do stuff with in entertainment are on that same level. And I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, because that's something that we don't talk about enough.
Amen. And it let it be known that it's okay for you to say, I'm not all right. I need help. You know, I do it all the time. I walk around, He-Man. No, I'm a human being. I have my moments. I need help just like I'm always helping people. And being a licensed and certified peer support and community service team and doing entertainment and doing podcasts with the super producer extraordinaire, Mr. Antoine Lamar, and doing stage with Lyrical Healing, and doing promotions and community work with TMG, it's a lot on my plate. And I have to stop and remember, first of all, I'm old. I'm 52. I have to remind myself, I got to watch my health. 2, I have to remember, like the song say, old song, Jeffrey Osborne, I'm only human. So I have to remember that. And I have to remind people that too. I need to be looked out for too, just like you or anybody else. But how do you feel about like mental health? I mean, where is it that like in your mindset, where is mental health at?
Mental health is really important to me for all genders, actually. In a lot of my music, I talk about my own, or I talk about my struggles with like things that I may have been going through. And the reason why I do that, put so much of my personal life into my music, is because I want people to become more comfortable with their own selves and being transparent. And like as an artist, I'm extremely transparent. Like if I'm about to perform and I'm like, man, I'm nervous, or like my anxiety is like really kicking my butt, you know what I'm saying? You may see me have a great performance, but you don't even know what I had to go through mentally in order to do that.
Yes.
Or I could have like a really bad performance because I wasn't able to mentally pull myself together sometimes. So it depends on, every performance, or, every time I'm trying to act or something like that. I've showed up to set before just like so distraught, and I feel like we should normalize these kinds of things instead of like still trying to push that agenda with the stigmatization of everything. Like, oh, you gotta like be perfect Patty all the time. And I just don't even get along with people that are like that, because I feel like in some way, shape, or form, everybody has gone through something, and some people struggle on the daily with things.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
We're never gonna be able to get to a place where we understand that being not normal actually is normal, and we don't have to suppress these kinds of things. And I also speak about it a lot on my social media and try to encourage people that are struggling with their mental health and feelings of like suicide or things like, you know, not finding a way to fit into like the social norms and things like that. And
Yeah.
I usually always attract like the people that don't have a lot of friends and stuff like that, because I'm such a loner and such a misfit that it's like those people can find their company with me, because guess what? It's okay if you're not a part of the crowd, but mentally what that does to a lot of people, it's terrible, you know. It's terrible. And then also the people that are out here bullying people and stuff like that, those people have some mental health issues, especially if you're coming down on people that you know may be going through some things and experiencing issues with their mental health.
Yeah.
You know, those people may need to see a therapist for why they feel like that's appropriate.
Absolutely.
But I think men's mental health is something that people kind of tuck away, and that's why we have a lot of men out here operating in like their toxic masculinity.
Yes.
You know, because that's kind of sort of what society has taught them is like the okay thing to do or the way to be, you know, with the patriarchy and, you know, like you were saying, like the he-man woman haters and all of that stuff. It goes back a long way, even beyond like a man's mother. It goes back to like how literally society was shaped. And honestly, in our community, you know, that go all the way back to slavery.
Way back.
So it's not even something that could just be fixed on a smaller scale.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit so many times. You almost summed up our discussion last night at the movie presentation. Everything you just said was a topic on the table. And that's what people have to realize today, that everybody needs somebody at one point or another. You know, and a lot of people don't know how to reach out. They don't know how to say, hey, I need help. They don't know how to say, hey, I'm going through something. They don't know how to say, well, how did you get through this? Who did you contact that helped you figure out how to overcome this mental health and these negative emotional triggers, this cognitive behavior, and things of this nature? And that's really what's going on today. Like you said, society teaches you something that is totally negative, and you assume it's the way you're supposed to be. And that is just crazy. But, you know, we can go in on this forever.
I'm telling you, because it's like generation through generation. And sometimes you have like maybe a few people that might be like, you know, this little tradition is wrong. And then, you know, those people usually get, you know,
spotlighted,
like, and just like mistreated for like recognizing and kind of sort of like waking up out of that matrix, because it really is something that I feel like all your life you could experience something at a young age.
Yes.
And then that stays with you throughout your whole life. Now, that may not be something you can forget or anything like that. And it's not like people need to push away, but the internalizing of the pain or the trauma, that's what's gonna like prevent, you know, people from being able to be happy with the life that they're building or the lives that they end up having. And that's how it get passed down through generation. Yes. And that's why it's like, yes, going to therapy is important, and having like, you know, possibly a psychiatrist, those things are important too. But number one thing I think is important is being able to acknowledge that you had been pained. And a lot of people don't get to do that because you're not able to call it out because of society not wanting to place blame on people who may have abused you, like at whatever age or whatever situation, or whether it's like systemic oppression and stuff like that. You know, it's oftentimes when you get to speaking up about these things, or you want to, whether it's in like your family, or whether it's in like your community, you know, or your friends group, you know, once you get to talking about these things, then people kind of sort of start, you know, we don't want to hear that, get over this, that, and the third. But people need to understand that, like, all of that stuff helps people to cope. And some things people will be coping with forever. There's no one-click solution to this.
You're right.
You know?
And then you also have people that don't realize that, some people don't realize they're in a mental health. They don't realize that they're stuck in something that is very negative to them, because this is how they grew up. Like you said, they are used to it, and they think it's normal because this is how they were raised. They were raised in a bully environment. They were raised in domestic violence. They were raised in gangland territory. They were raised in poverty. So this is their outlook on life. This is how things got to be. They were raised in racism. They were raised in disrespecting women or thinking that a man is only a cash app check and that's it. And this is the mindset that they have because this is what they were taught, because their people never learned. Their people were never taught, and it's just passed down, passed down, passed down. And this is what's wrong with society today. And like you said, when you start addressing it, because I tell you, I've gave myself a nickname, Boogeyman, because when you start talking about it, people are like, oh, it's just like talking about God. They be like, oh, no, I don't want to talk about that. But we can talk about everything else, but you can't talk about what's going to uplift you and change you for betterment.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like the people that want you to change as well, sometimes they want you to change for their comfort level.
Come on.
And that's what makes it so dangerous when people are on their healing journey, because people think a healing journey means like, oh, they just not going to talk about it anymore, or they're just going to be, all of a sudden they're going to wake up in like a month or so and just be like super duper happy and, ready to go out with you and be that person that maybe they used to be before this happened, or they're going to be there. They're going to be able to be there for you all the time, or whatever the case may be. But sometimes it's not like that. It's not like that. A healing journey can take years and years for somebody, especially once they get to that part that they have had that awakening to what they're experiencing or what they did grow up in. Like if you've always been in survival mode and you were raised on survival, and then you come into like love, like those things are going to be hard, because a person raised on love and a person raised on survival, they're going to have a hard time being together in a relationship, because it's going to be such a contrast of ideals and how to handle certain situations and communication and stuff like that. So, some people are going to be working a long time, and I think everybody needs some patience. I think it's the number one thing. People need patience, and also people need to validate the feelings of others.
Say it.
It's
Say
important.
that shit.
It's important.
Say that shit. Me and Portia the Poor were just having a brief convo on this yesterday. You've been in survival mode. Somebody got to show you how not to be in survival mode. You got to learn how to be, I've made it. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm healed. If you haven't been in that, you got to be taught how to be in that area of life. So, look, we'll go on this forever. We're going to go on to the next subject. But, yeah, this is deep. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for that, Sunshine, because a lot of people needed to hear that. A lot of people. Well,
thank you, because, stuff we don't get to talk about, I'm telling you. Especially not like the shows I be going to. They don't... They ain't talking about nothing.
And that's what we like to do here. We like to get real, like to get down to earth. We like to be able to talk about what really pushes you and what you're going through in your life, so that other people can learn from it and how they can be inspired and how they can overcome what they're going through as well. Because it's not just, we don't just do music. We don't just do podcasting. You have a life outside of this.
Yes.
And you got to be able to better yourself and explain and help people. Each one teach one. This is what life is really all about.
Absolutely. I agree.
So, on to the next subject, because we'll spend the whole podcast on this.
I'm trying to tell you.
Let's get to the music. So, when did you first fall in love with music?
I would say when I was a little girl, my dad was like really big into burning CDs. Okay. And I could say this now because he can't get in trouble for this. Okay. Excuse me. But so my dad used to burn everything, and he used to burn all the CDs for everybody. Like he would like everybody. Okay. Well, come get their CDs from my father. Okay. So he had like, the Jay-Z and Reasonable Doubt and all that stuff.
Right.
He had the good stuff. The, when Escape got with, the group, and they had the Am I Dreaming?
Oh, yes.
All of that. All what I'm saying? Like,
then the old one with the MC Light. Keep on, keeping on. Bloom,
I'm talking about
and then sampled that
all
Michael
of
Jackson.
that.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm telling you, everything he had on CDs, and we just used to, listen to that. And if it wasn't that, it's records and everything. And, it was just like my mother used to listen to Whitney Houston. You knew that it was time to clean up. If she got up on that Saturday morning, put that Whitney Houston on and that gospel on Sunday, okay?
You was in the bed like, oh, God, it's time to clean up. I hear Whitney.
When I hear clock strikes upon the hour, I'm like, okay, we got to get up. My mother woke. It's time to get the dishes. Okay, so, but I first started singing at 3.
Wow.
And then I started rapping around like 14 years old.
Okay.
And then my brother, one of my older brothers, he also could sing too, and then he also was like a songwriter too.
Word.
So we was like writing and recording songs on a little karaoke machine thing at like 6 and 7. You know what I'm saying? Like full songs.
Yeah.
Okay. With a hook and a verse and a bridge. So it's like we've been doing this thing forever.
Yeah. That's cool. Like, wow. So you've been doing this like it's not even a hobby no more. It's real life.
Oh yeah, like all through school, I played instruments and was in like the choir and I studied performing arts as a major. And like I was in anything, all the plays, the dance teams, cheerleading, like I was doing all of that stuff at one point. And pretty much all the way until I graduated, so I was always on the stage and I was always performing. I was always doing something like that. I played sports and everything. So I was just always, doing
Active.
Something. Like, I was definitely super active.
Word.
So, now as I've like reemerged as an artist, it's been really cool because it's been years since I've actually been making music and putting it out, and getting back to the stage has been insane for me. So it's been like 2 years since I decided to reemerge as a performing artist, and like my journey has already been insane, and I haven't even tried to really do the stuff that I want to do yet, but I'm so blessed to have been given some of these opportunities that have come my way, and it's really helped me to keep pursuing what I want to do.
Thank you for that, because a lot of people don't understand. They think that you just up and jump up and next day you're an immediate mainstream superstar making millions and millions of dollars. There's a process. And it's so different now. I got to agree with you on that. Back when I was younger in the late 90s and I was just doing movie extras and whatnot, and then I decided to come back within the past 4 or 5 years, the scene is so different. The rules and the regulations are so very different. And one thing that hasn't changed is you got to stay focused on what you're doing, because there are going to be haters and gatekeepers. But if you ain't doing it right, you're not going to have any haters or gatekeepers.
I was going to say that. I'm telling you, like, that's something that I always have to tell myself is like, it's pretty much destined for these people to come for you, Shine. It's destined because they would never come for somebody if you weren't absolutely phenomenal. And that's just the bottom line. Nobody comes for anybody that is mediocre or regular. So it's coming with the territory as you continue to climb and you rise. And this is not just for me or what I tell myself, but this is what I tell other people too. Like, they literally can't take what it is that you are determined that you're going to make for yourself, because they honestly did not give you the gift. So how could they take it? All they could do is try to sabotage it. And you know what? Let them people try. Let them try.
They can't stop it.
Don't even worry about it. Me personally, sometimes I'll be like, I'll slap all of y'all. But, sometimes somebody gotta get slapped. But look, most of the time, you really do have to kind of sort of like ignore a lot of these people, or do what I do, diss them in my tracks, because they ain't gonna do nothing anyway.
That is my therapy. Like, honest truth be told, I go in And I actually have a couple of songs where I say, "You rather me talk about it than do this to you. You don't want the old me to come back out." I have healed. I have come a long way. I'm an OG now, so I have to think like an OG. But you don't want the young Wody to come back. Ooh, that dude was terrible.
I'm trying to tell you.
On sight, 0 to 300, real quick. So this is a therapy for me, and this is an opportunity, as you said, to be able to show people how to be constructive and how to positively deal with negative situations and interference. So, man, again, I'm loving this podcast. Like, you are really hitting on all cylinders, and it's truly needed. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being able to come and, have some of these different conversations, because it allows me to actually talk.
Yeah, I'm always
other than
for
rap
that.
all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you need to be able to just flow and just let things out. So back a minute, you said some real influential artists. So who are some more artists that like influenced you coming up?
Definitely Brandy, definitely Monica, Shania Twain, Dixie Chicks.
Stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Faith Hill.
Yeah.
I was really big in the country. The Spice Girls. Like, I was like Britney Spears.
Oh yeah.
I was big on pretty much all the genres. But I would say Remy Ma always been my number one rapper. I like to think I'm her daughter. Like that first one that she had, not her first one, but like I'm the one before that. I'm like her. She's like Mary Magdalene, and I'm that baby that she had.
Okay, I feel you. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's mother. It's my mother.
Girl, you something special. But yeah, I like that because when I came back myself, I decided I didn't want to be fitted into just one genre. I want to be able to go across all of them. Because let's say, just in case, I have a Kendrick versus Drake or a UTFO versus Roxanne Shante.
Okay.
Or, a Ice-T versus LL or a Cannabis versus LL. And I don't survive it. I need to be able to put music in other genres and keep on moving with my career. And I got other things I like to do other than rap. My first love was actually not rapping. My first love was DJing and making beats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like back in the day before we had the digital, I learned from the old coons. We used to take the tape, record, rewind, stop, record, stop, loop. That's how we looped. Rewind, stop, rewind, record, stop. Like, we learned the essence of actually having to know how to do it, how to do the pauses and takes, the record, pause, track, cut, paste. Learned all that back then.
And I read it's simplified now, isn't it?
Very simplified. You just push a button now. And it's
telling you.
You ain't got to do nothing now. You don't even have to have a voice now.
Of course not. Of course.
Yeah.
I actually was just telling somebody the other day, don't come to me with any music that you used and it's not your voice, it's some AI voice. Do not do that. Take that off. Don't use AI to record. If you need to possibly use it to help you write a song because you can't get it together, like that's understandable because everybody's not a songwriter. Yeah. However, you still could go to a human songwriter and you could go to a human singer or rapper and have them say your stuff for you if you don't want to use your own voice or you don't have the ability to make those words flow or deliver how you want it to be done.
Yes, ma'am.
Instead of using AI, because AI stole someone's voice to do it. So even though it seems like, it's very easy for you to just be like, yeah, I'm going to have AI sing my song. Yeah, but it's someone else's voice that probably didn't even consent to that. So I think
Ooh.
everybody should take that into consideration. And also, do you see the water usage in the data centers? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to get back and stick back to the art of the music. AI doesn't have a soul. It's essentially taking
Took the words
human
out my
soul,
mouth.
the human soul. Okay. It's stealing the human soul. You don't want that. We still need our consciousness and our creativity. And most of all, the feeling in the music that you can only have when you've had these experiences that humans have. Okay.
Yes.
So and that's coming from an IT engineer. Okay. Now,
Right.
when you need work or whatever, you know, certain things in business, cool. AI it up if you want to, but try not to do it a lot, because we're not going to have no water. We're not going to have no water. Remember this. Remember, it takes a lot of water for AI to do its thing. Just remember that.
Girl, you're the truth. Thank you. When was a moment that you decided, or you knew this is it for me? I got to be a artist. This is what I want. What was that moment that hit you?
You know, it kind of go back to my childhood. Like growing up, I was literally that girl that would always be singing, and I mean I was anywhere, everywhere. Like I'm talking about, there was nowhere that I wasn't singing, with a mic, without a mic. And so like the people in my community, teachers, you know, my friends, my family, you know, they were always being like, you need to go to American Idol, and you need to go to this show and do this and do that. Like they will always be saying like, do that stuff. And I just didn't go, because like I was that caretaker child, and I used to just, you know, take care of my parents. And so I never really wanted to try to pursue those types of things, because I always felt like if you take off, you could go really far from home, and you can't do that. That's just not what's, you know, that's not what's possible for you, because you're going to probably end up being the child that ultimately is this caretaker like all your life. So, you know, I thought about that like in middle school, like, you know, there's certain things that you're going to be able to do, and probably certain things that you're not, because you've got to be there for your parents. And you know, if my mom's watching, she can be like, I take care of myself. But that's true. But there's always a caretaker child, and it's always been me. So I always felt like it's not limited in a bad way. It's limited in a good way, because honestly, a lot of people just grow up and, you know, say F they parents. I'm just not one of those people.
Yeah.
So I always was like, you know, you could do local and you could do certain things. Hey, I was like, you know, you could do local and you could do, you know, certain things, but, you know, maybe you can't go on tour. Like one time a young lady invited me to go on tour to be like her background singer. I met her over there at the NC Tavern one night. She was like, yeah, I'm going to Africa. I'm going on tour. And, you know, this was years ago. And she's like, I'm going on tour. I need backup singers. So I sang for her. And she was like, you got to come with me. You got to come with me. Yeah. And I was just like, Ma, the girl want me to go with her. And then I just was like, nah, my mom need me. I can't even do it. You know what I'm saying? My mom need me. And my mom's like, you should go. And I was just like, no, every time it's been like that. So, you know, also I have always had a fear of flying, even though I always was doing something, and always in some kind of talent show, and, you know, choirs you got auditioning to, and on TV singing, like, and I was on TV singing in high school and stuff, you know, but no matter how many talent shows I won or things like that, it still was like, you know, I'm scared, you know, I'm freaking scared. So I never, even, you know, as an adult in my older age now, after I've done so many things, I still be scared. Like, girl, what if you do? Like, what if you end up like being the next huge star one day? But I don't even have my goals are not even to be that. You know what I'm saying? My goals are so different. And I'm not trying to go, you know, all the way up there to the mainstream and stuff like that. You know, that's not really what I'm doing it for. Yeah. But like literally those moments back then, that's what made me be like, okay, you want to not only just do the choirs and the the talent
Local
shows and
talent
stuff,
shows, yeah.
you're going to go ahead and go record your music. So I first started actually recording my music around like, you could say like 18, 19.
Okay.
And so like around age like 16, 17, I had started like my YouTube channel. So I used to just always sing on there and
Yeah.
make like home videos and stuff and, post them up of me singing and everything. And rapping too. I know I did at least a few rapping videos too.
Okay.
And once I moved, that was like down here. Like I was transitioning between like Baltimore and Charlotte. Like I was living between both states.
Yeah.
So like when I had ended up going back to Baltimore more permanently, that's when I started like really recording music around like 18, 19 years old. And I was dropping every like week on like MySpace. It was like, yeah, I had my
Beating
little
them in the
fans on
head.
there. They would add my song to their profile. I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep dropping. We're gonna keep making music. We're gonna keep dropping, with my homeboys. And it was dope. We had like our first show down Bel Air Road. And that was like my first, it was an open mic, and that was my first open mic. It was pretty dope. So, but then after that, it was like so many different things had happened that I really just stopped, making music at that time. I let my YouTube go.
Lifing.
Yeah,
Right.
I built my YouTube up so big they offered me the partnership. You know what I'm saying? So it was I was up there, man. I was up there. So
You gotta get back to that.
that's what I'm saying. I know. That's why I'm like, let's get it. That's why I'm like, let's get back out here now. After the death of my son, back in 2022. Right before that time, I had gotten back into just doing like apps, like making videos on apps and stuff. But then like once I found out I was pregnant and stuff, like I had stopped because I had to like learn how to become a mother. I had to literally become like the biggest advocate for like, babies, preemies, and honestly, like, and even more so of an activist than I already was, because like, unfortunately, racial disparities in healthcare is an issue that affects us all. It's extreme. It's huge. And, I literally ended up just walking into a hospital and just experiencing just how far these people will go to, wipe us out. So I had to really get on that, you know what I'm saying, with those people. And after that, after I ended up losing my son due to the medical negligence and wrongful death, I just almost completely collapsed. I mean, like, I almost lost my mind. I'm talking about I wanted to get in that grave with my son and die with him. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
People were just like, you have got to keep going. And it would just be like in one ear and out the other, because I'm just like, I don't care. This is my son. I do not care.
You were in depression mode at that point.
Like I'm telling you, lower than low. So, all I could do was make the music. And so I literally made all of this music that you could find on my bandlab.com/TICIA_sunshine. You could find all of that music going back to about 2022, 23. You can find it all. And that's all the music that I made at the time that I literally lost my son. So now it's like, we going to come back out. We coming. We coming hard. We coming hard now.
And what you said just now is a very valid point. I was with the Pink Grasshopper doula. She's on IG. And I recently attended a couple of doula events. And that was one of the main things they talked about. Like, it really does happen a lot postmortem, but more importantly, Black women, this happens a lot. And it's a very serious subject that jumps off on a regular basis. So our apologies for that happening to you, but also our give you your flowers because you overcame and adapted, and now you're a survivor and you're able to lead other people in the way to be able to overcome them situations.
Absolutely.
So,
like, that's a really important part of my artistry as well, is making sure that I have some music for, people who may have experienced loss in a similar way of losing their child. And then, of course, I talk a lot about, the injustices that we face as Black people or people of color as well.
Yes, ma'am.
You know,
Yes.
and racial disparities in healthcare is one of those things where it's like, honestly, it's just not even recognized on a world level, like in a national level, the way it needs to be.
Yeah.
So I always try to have some songs where I talk about those things, and just how it impacts us all. And then I also, have, done, in my personal life and stuff, I have, reached out to other people who may have been experiencing those kinds of things, and especially mothers, because like the maternal fetal health for Black women is just so poor, unfortunately.
Terrible.
It's just horrible. You can go in there and you can think everything is fine, and a man can walk out without his wife,
For real.
or without the baby, or both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that I just would love to continue to find, like, those resources, and how I can help, even more than just, talking about it, and just, talking about it within, the communities and stuff. But that's one of my bigger goals, is to really find who it is that's, taking up a charge in the fight, and, get with them, and, try to bring some more awareness.
We would definitely be glad to help you with that, because I know we definitely want a podcast on this, and we definitely got some people in place that I'm gonna connect you with, so that we can all get on the same page and start pushing this point. It definitely needs to be done.
Thank you.
So, back doing your music, you in the Queen City. Are you performing right now in Charlotte?
Yes. So I'm performing right now. I don't think I have anything coming up, like, right now at this part of the month. But in the later part of the month, you could catch me at the 704 Culture Hip Hop Awards.
Oh, sure.
By Cuddy Cutright, and it is going down. I will be returning there. I actually performed at the 704 Culture Hip Hop Awards for my first performance as a reemergent artist, and that was back in 2024. So that was the first place that I took the stage in over a decade in Charlotte. And so it was super dope. I was only in the cypher though. I was like the only woman who signed up to rap in the cypher that year, so it was pretty cool. And then they had called out to see if there was gonna be some other women that would come on and do it, and they did, and it was dope.
Did. But at first, in the beginning, you had your Remy Ma moment, because you was the only female in the cypher. Do it, baby. Okay.
Yeah, it was dope. So now, now I'm going back, and I actually will be performing some of my songs. So I planned on bringing some new music, and just kind of sort of previewing it, and seeing. I might drop it before, I might drop it after. I don't know. Kind of like hoarding music a little bit, because I'm just building so much, and I keep making stuff. I'm making music like maybe every day.
Yes.
So I'm definitely building up, and I definitely have so much that I have to drop, but I'll definitely continue to keep booking. And if anybody wants to book me for a performance, or book me for hosting, or event coordination,
you're ready,
modeling, acting, you can contact me on Instagram. My Instagram is sunshine with a Y _baby.
So you're here in the Queen City. What other cities are you planning to perform in? Do you have anything scheduled coming up?
No, right now I don't have anything scheduled where I'm going to be traveling as of yet. But I did get to perform last year in Atlanta for the first time. It was crazy.
Ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
I love performing.
Definitely going back to Atlanta, okay?
Yeah. It's a different vibe, a different. How was it? Describe it for a moment.
I would say I performed at a specially curated event that was like a cosplay event. It was called the Urban Fantasy Ball by JZD Photography. And I'm talking about, you have got to, if they ever come back, which I'm sure they will, because they keep throwing events here in Charlotte. They've thrown since the one that I went to in Atlanta. I know they've thrown like at least 2 more events, so I know she'll be back through here.
Okay.
And with the ATL Black Fae committee, I mean, these people put these extravagant events together for you to literally dress up in like your wildest dreams, any kind of like, I mean, the males, they are able to really express themselves creatively with their costumes or getting into like certain characters and stuff. And so I think it's really good for Black people in general, even if you're not into cosplay, to be able to go to those kinds of events, because I mean, like, I'm a nerd, so I'm in there because I'm a nerd. But at the same time, like, you can literally play dress up as an adult. Like, who doesn't want to do that?
I'm trying to tell you,
it's
people
dope.
always look at me like, oh man, he's so intelligent. He's an intelligent thug. I'm a nerd. I've been a nerd my whole life. I love it. I love doing that. I just did one with Lyrical Healing last Halloween, and we acted up. So talking about that, I want to get into a couple of your songs.
Okay,
so
let's get in.
The first one we're going to talk about is Ghost Flow. What was the mindset behind writing Ghost Flow?
Do you want the truth?
The whole truth and nothing but truth, baby. We want the bottom line.
So Ghost Flow was written about a bunch of like people that's been hating on me. Some women, that and men, that really just don't want me to continue to make music. Like they feel like they saw something in me, and they ended up, trying to take me down. They was talking about my deceased son and things like that. And this stuff started happening once I started publishing my music on BandLab. That it was just like, people were targeting me. And so I made Ghost Flow just to talk about some of that. And, I started off with like, when they get the yapping, it never involves me. They're talking about me behind my back, because if I enter in the chat, then they know that I would be absolved from the false allegations or the rumors, the stuff that they're making up about me. If I was to be in the conversation, the truth would be in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not there, and it's able to be told or spread to anybody like that, because I'm not in that conversation. So they could just pass it around between each other, spread it to whoever may listen or believe something without actually having the facts. And then I pretty much just go on to talk about like how my son, my angel, he's in the outfield, and these clowns have made him famous by disrespecting him and posting his picture online in order to try to hurt me and stop me from making this music, because they can't do it like I do. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, baby.
And it is what it is, because y'all were not successful. So I made a track like Ghost Flow to let them know, like, you tried to kill me. So now I'm on my Ghost Flow. You know what I'm saying?
All right. We're going to get into a piece of this right now. For those of y'all who don't know and don't understand, I hope you just heard what Miss T Shine said. They're going to be shooting at you. They're going to be trying to get you. But look at them and say, take this Ghost Flow.
Me from race. They working overtime to clock up, but I still get a race. And when he's sitting on my desk, then I be closing the case. Tell all the family you must acknowledge, call me Lady Ray. I am the author, the copyright, I left the stain on their page. This new chapter of vindication ain't gon' do them no justice. They burn their allegations, case we hold no merit to trust it. Co-route an option, I won't phone them, T-Shine ain't with the tap. No wish, no forecast, stay receptive to some sweet chain of cat. I don't miss the deposit, here's a market, you can come get what you need. My door attacks me, my door on the cube, I'm shipping them bars, ain't back to live for free. Like nowadays, they gotta pay me. Shots too weak, they graze me. It's a flat D to engage me. Bringing as the unknown object of your desire. Aphrodisiac conception, AI stasis required. I'ma talk to him, alright?
Talk to him.
I tell him like, I'm CD Bibles, I'm the idol. My spinning versus Billy, feelings of sticks, okay, I'll still shit with the cheese like a Philly. I'm up in status, purple jump, so I'ma take up the base. My high goal schedule for the clown, yeah, I still got going pain. Like can it be the underdog, standing out from the litter? Recycle ideas from my brain, how could they claim that I'm with it? Is it backstabbing when you moving foul and swipe at me first? I understand you seeking sympathy, my reflexes hurt. Yeah, I'm still bit fresh to death and killing whores for the better my ears. They gather round and stream my sound to analyze every word. I bet I got a stethoscope to see if they came up in my verse. I'm heavy on top, they with my pop, your biggest eyes is a green bereaved mother. Yeah, operations before they need my people to cover. Pick you up in every school, I'm shooting like my angels in the outfield. The way these clowns made them famous, I'm levitating, watching them scramble plays to drop me the endless.
Ooh, my angels are in the outfield. Big dog standing out the litter. Arr, arr, arr. Okay. Girl, I ain't even gonna spit. I ain't gonna say. I'm just, wow. And it was coming from a point of addressing bullshitters and haters. Incredible. You know, we got one more track we're going to listen to from you. So tell us about what was the essence behind Movie.
Well, I always felt like my life was a movie because, you know, it's got some action. It's got some drama. You know, it's got some happy moments and some redeeming things. And, you know, my story as far as like my music, you know, always been considered the underdog. That's because people didn't think I, you know, had a chance in the fight. I didn't have a dog in there, you know.
Wow.
So I just made Movie because, you know, lights, camera, action, we here, you know.
Come on with it. That's what I'm talking about. That's self-explanatory. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. T SHYNE the A.I. with the track Movie. It's a movie.
Sorry, that's when we gon' heat it up. When I'm in the building, it's heated up. Let's get rich, and that's enough. See my life like a movie. I'm tired of thinking I'm feeling no busy. Nobody gon' move me. Heat it up. Sorry, that's when we gon' heat it up. When I'm in the building, it's heated up. Let's get rich, and that's enough. See my life like a movie. I'm tired of thinking I'm feeling no busy. Nobody gon' move me. How about the whip? I'll be flashy. They gon' stop just to look like I'm fancy. It ain't no other bitch that can pass me. Running all these brothers to go. Since we check they hitting on it all. I be blue I'm fighting no Joe. Yeah, I'm cracking the heads when I blow. I'm a real little brother, she try it. Flash it only and I'm the co-pilot. With my sis, you can see how they shining. I'm the gold of these niggas be mining. Diamond ruby, I love me a garnet. Raise the arms when I'm hitting my targets. Got my spirit in the class, I'm bargain. I don't worry about interest they harbor. Bitch, I'm for running boy, you already. In my mind on the millions like money. Let my cousins be sure you be gully. Business first, we rock, I like mullets. I be wildin', they wish for a culling. We get so never get this for 10. I'm engulfing these things, new names. Give it up like I'm passing for lit. If she question on me, she'll get spent. Can't go have fucking pay my own rent. Nigga, he must be high as the fit. Superficial, they calling me kin. I was born pretty, I this is a blush. Missionary, he look how I gush. Say that ass feels so good, it's like kush. I been claiming myself for some hours. I had a clock out, I will bring my flower. Heat it up. Sorry, that's when we gon' heat it up. When I'm in the building, it's heated up. Let's get rich, and that's enough. So yeah, my life like a movie. I'm tired of thinking I'm feeling no busy. Nobody gon' move me. Heat it up. Sorry, that's when we gon' heat it up. When I'm in the building, it's heated up. Let's get rich, and that's enough. So yeah, my life like a movie. I'm tired of thinking I'm feeling no busy. Nobody gon' move me. Hey, I'm over on mommies.
Hey, your cadence is nice with it. It's it's different. It stands out. I'm just gonna be honest and real with it. Today's music, the majority of the women, as JD put it, I didn't say it. Jermaine Dupri said it. It's stripper pole music.
Hey, look, I got some of that too.
Yeah, and you know we all do it. I got some. You know, I got some of that Lighten music. I got some 2 Live Crew. But not all of your tracks are stripper pole music. That's the difference. You have some education. You have some, I overcame. This is how I did it. Let me help y'all. I hope I can help somebody and inspire somebody. You have some, you know what? They didn't like me, and I still did it anyway. I like all that. So I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I hope Super Producer agrees with me. The OGs definitely want to track with you.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah.
I love a collab.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love to collab.
We got to come up with a name because, you know, we started doing our music and people accepted it. We weren't expecting it like that. We ain't even got a name right now. It's Ant and Drizzle. So we still got to get a group name.
You need like a superhero super duo type of name.
Yeah. Queen City Dynamic Duo.
Okay.
We'll come up with something. We got.
I mean, I like that though, the Queen City Dynamic Duo. But you'd have to like shorten it.
Yeah.
You need something catchy.
So we'll you can help us figure it out. Right. So producer, yay. Okay.
We got the thumb of approval.
That's it. That's all I got to see. You know, my man over there, hey, that's my dog there. Where my dog's at? Arr, arr, arr. That's my dog. Like through thick and thin. Speaking of mental health, standing by each other, helping each other, just calling out the blue when you don't even expect it. It's like on that wave, that telekinesis. You just know. And like, you just end up calling. What's up, bro? Man, how you know I need to talk to somebody right now? But I was like, that's what we do, baby. and that's what I'm saying. Your flow and us, I just really want to hear how that sounds together. We both make tracks. You make tracks. And we all come together and just collab. So, yeah, I definitely want to do that with you.
That would be dope. I would like that.
All right.
I can write the hook.
Hey, we whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, we are with it. So one more time before we close this out, you said you do have something coming up. I just want to reiterate that one more time.
Yes, you can catch me June 28th, that's a Sunday, at the 704 Culture Hip Hop Awards, performing live. And the lineup is really dope this year. It's nothing but amazingly talented people that are going to be up there performing. And then as well, it's going to be lots of, hit makers and taste makers in Charlotte and really important people who have been making an impact in the community being honored this year. So this year's award show is definitely coming like never before.
Word. Indeed. Looking forward to that. And before we go, just look into camera one. And anybody that is really serious about any craft or any business that they're doing, especially music, give them a word of encouragement and advice.
I'm going to tell you this. If you really believe that you got the gift, whether it came from the universe, Mother Nature, or God above, and you are passionate about what it is that you possess, and you feel like you have got what it takes to put it out there to the world, because you're going to have to be strong. You are going to have to be ridiculous with your belief in what it is that you can do, because people are going to try to tell you you are not good enough. You're not qualified. And you cannot listen to those people unless you're a self-aware person like myself and knows how to see where your work can be improved and are willing to put in the work, because this is a pathway of continual studying of your craft and learning and listening and reforming and reshaping and taking hiatuses and coming back. Like, it's not just today we're going to be famous because we went viral. No, after that, you have got to maintain. And it takes a lot of work to maintain. Right. If you're paying attention to anything throughout history and music, there's a lot of one-hit wonders. And that comes around due to people not actually being able to see the money that they made off that hit, as well as people in the industry, taking away their opportunity to shine. You've got to be really solid and secure in what it is that you're building. You've got to make sure that you're not easily swayed by the opinions of other people in a way that it will let you feel like you want to give up. And then also you do want to be serious about, branding yourself, and you want to be focused on making sure that everything is legit with your paperwork, so things don't happen to you like they've happened to me and having my music stolen, things of that nature. You really want to, be prepared to probably do a lot of this alone for a time or two, because you could end up losing a lot of friends or supporters or people like that along the way. So you've got to be that serious about what it is that you're doing. And the last thing that I will say is that if they're not supporting you in every way possible that they can, because support honestly is free. Yes, you need people to come out to your shows, and yes, you need people to stream your music, but a like or a reshare or, you know, a comment isn't too much for someone that actually truly respects what it is that you're putting out there. So just remember that, okay?
Come on.
Just remember that part. And also, don't put all your stock into likes. I know it's monetized now these days, but even if nobody liked your post, it didn't mean that you weren't good. Also, if you never win an award or you never win a show or anything, a competition, it doesn't mean that you weren't good enough.
Right.
It means that, hey, it was someone else's time at that time. And you don't need that in order to tell you that you're great. You know, your work ethic can speak volumes for you. Your talent itself can speak volumes, and you could just be in the wrong room with the wrong people. It could be lots of different factors, but do not get defeated by things like that. You know, stay steady in your course, because when it's your time to shine, it's going to be undeniable. And it doesn't matter what accolades that you don't have. What matters is that you stay the course. Do it for your fans. Do it for those people that need you to have that music for them, for their moods. I mean, they might need what you have to get through a hard time, or they may need what you have to hang out with the homies. They may need what you have to get that girl at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Your song was playing when they met the love of their life. You know, that's how you got to think about it. You know, you never know. You never know how impactful that your music could be, or you know, how impactful your performance in that movie could be to someone's life. So absolutely jump out here and do your thing, okay? With authenticity and integrity.
All right, girl. You are the truth, and the truth of the truth, because it's the truth and nothing but the truth. God, that went hard. Like, I wasn't even expecting all that. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a hell of a show, but all great things must come to an end. And as you see, we can sit here and chop it up forever, ever.
Right.
But we do got a time slot. We do got to get up out of here. But you're going to be back on the show, right?
Yep, I'll be coming back.
Definitely. That's what I'm talking about. There'll be a part 2 coming up. Y'all going to have to stay tuned for that. Thank you, Miss T SHYNE the A.I.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming. This was extraordinary. It went places I was not even expecting it to go. But this is what I like, when somebody comes and you really have something on your mind and something to say, and you just let the vibe flow. People out there are going to get what's meant for them. Somebody was praying. Somebody was talking to God. Somebody was having a conversation, venting to somebody that needed to hear everything that came on here, different parts, different areas, different parts of the world, different people. And I just thank you for everything you brought to this podcast today.
Well, thank you for having a platform for me to come on to. You know, I was waiting for the longest. I remember I caught you at the bar, and I said, well, what about me? Where's my interview with you?
I
was coming. I was always coming, you know.
Oh, I had to go. I said, Twan, I said, man, she been telling me, man, we got to go ahead and get her on. It's on me, baby. I said, we got to go ahead and get her on. And I'm glad we made it happen. And looking forward to the next time, most definitely. So, with that being said, my last note, I really don't even have to say anything because she said it all. Everything that Miss T SHYNE said, that's what I'm saying. Enjoy yourself. Love, peace, hedges, collard greens, cornbread. Thanks for watching. Mandrey, Mandrizzle Davis 4. It's the bottom